Oh yeah. She's getting hot. You guys haven't seen this since I hooked up the oil feed. That oil feed makes one heck of a difference. But this is not why we're here today. This is why we are here. This is my original dump truck that started everything about 3-4 years ago, whenever I bought it. And dude, it has had one hard life, very hard life. It's very rusty, well, half rusty because I fixed some of it. The issue is I want to fix this truck up for the last 3 years, and I always use the truck, and I hardly ever get any downtime with it. So it's March now, and I'm months behind because I wanted to work on this winter, and it did not happen. But I'm staying committed. I'm working on it. I'm not using it anymore. I've turned work down I could have used with this. That way I can get the body work done, get the truck finished, and make it look nice and presentable. So I want to go over with you this truck. So anyone that knows me knows that I love the GMT 800 Chevy trucks, especially the Duramax diesels. This one is a 2004 LLY, and I have been all over this truck. I purchased it. It was wrecked in the front. It was wrecked, but not wrecked. No one was driving it. Someone backed into it and crunched the front end up. It was a big dump truck that hit it. And I bought it like that, and there's, like I said, there's a lot of rust. There's some body damage. I worked on putting it back together so I'd put it on the road and use it. And I've just done a little bit to it here and there. So I put the hood on it, new fenders, and really the fenders wasn't bad. I mean, the one was a little bent up. It wasn't like terrible, but it was the rust. So I bought new fenders for it. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of banged it up already. I'm an idiot, and I hit, the old saying, come down like a ton of bricks. Well, dude, let me tell you, it did. I hit a skid of bricks, and it went down like a ton of bricks. It ripped the whole plastic cover off. Headlight support's broken. That's why the headlight's zip tied in here. Creased my brand new fender. So it's just one of those things where I know when I get it all fixed up, something dumb is going to happen to it. Preferably not, but it's going to happen. So, the end of last year, I put a new cab corner and rocker in. You can see there's some surface rust starting a little bit from where it's not been painted. It's just been primered. I'm not doing a full-on... I'm restoring it, yes, but to a certain point. Technically, if I was going to do this right, I would have cut the floorboard out, but I added a piece of steel in the bottom of the floorboard. I'm still working the truck. Like, this will be a work truck, not a show truck. As long as it is better than what it has been for a while. Because, I mean, like, this, I did not put this on the truck. They done that to hide rust back in there. So from a distance, it doesn't look terrible. They've already reskinned the bed of this truck from the inside. And it's a really solid bed from the inside. It's just the outside looks a little rough. This is honestly probably the worst side here. So I want to cut this off. And I want to get a bigger piece of steel and run from here down to roughly here. That way it looks more like it should be versus all these crappy welds sticking out. It doesn't look right. It just does not look good. So I want to fix that, cut some stuff off, doesn't need to be on there. I want to get rid of these lights. I mean, I'm just not seeing it with what I want to do with the truck. Okay, this door has been banged up ever since I had it. And it's got some pretty huge dents in it, some bends, just about all over. I have a new door over there for this thing. This door, I'm gonna keep it because it's honestly a rust-free, clean door. So I will keep it because you never know, in 20 years from now, guy could probably straighten it out. I mean, look at that. That is literally, that's a really clean door. And it's unfortunate it's that banged up. But you can see ground from the inside. That's the thing, man. When you put in new rockers and cab corners, usually you're rusted through here down. Once you start getting up to the top, man, it just makes it such a pain because then you're kind of building stuff to make things work. Unless a guy took the time to cut a floor pan out, put a floor pan, which honestly, I think this thing actually has had some floor pan work done to it. That's what happens with salt, because this was a city truck years ago. People getting out, working in salt. They got salt all over their boots and water, nowhere for it to go with the rubber floor mat. It just settles. But the inner rocker is shot. So it's going to take a few days to really get this kind of back in line. The cab corner and the rocker. I already got the one side done. So once I get this side done, I'm going to feel better. And yeah, it's kind of go from there. The frame is actually not bad on this truck. It's got some crust through here. Not bad. But I'm going to sand that down. I want to take air chisel and some other stuff, like a needle scaler, and clean up some stuff under the bed. That's going to help really knock some rust down with the needle scaler. See how much of this crap I can get out. Same deal with this bed. And I actually, see, my welds here, not bad. The old welds before is just awful. So I welded this because I wanted to grind them off, see what it looked like underneath this panel, and it was pretty crusty, so I just put it back for now. And really, there's going to be some stuff I'm probably going to change along the way. I've already bought quite a bit of stuff for this thing, and you're probably going to look at me like I'm a freaking idiot because the amount of time and money I've put in this truck. I mean, you see it's rusted. It's nothing matches on it. It's 3 different colors. It's in bad shape. It's beat up, but it's got good bones. And I love these air trucks, and I hate seeing these things get rusty. People go out and buy new trucks, and quite honestly, I don't like new trucks. There's like a couple that I somewhat like, but this is where it's at. This is what I've been around. This is what I know to work on. But I pulled the engine out last year, put new head gaskets on it, head studded it. You know, LOIs are known for head gasket issues. So I took care of that. And really, I'm thinking about maybe next year after pulling the engine back out. I might change some stuff with it. I'm going to do a different turbo. Just change a few things on. But right now, I need to make it look better than what it is because it's getting kind of rough looking. These boards, I cut these boards out 3 years ago, and it worked out good. Believe it or not, I've actually hauled 5 ton of asphalt with this thing, and it dumps 5 ton of asphalt just fine. You don't want to be hauling that kind of weight, though, with this kind of truck, because it's kind of like a do-or-die situation. The tailgate, to give you an idea of how much power that this dump bed has to dump. I was never a fan of the, I guess it'd be like electric over hydraulic lifts like was on a dump trailer. They just don't seem to have the same kind of lift power as like a normal PTO hydraulic. Right here, I had my tailgate down and I dumped and it hit the pin. And I didn't know it. Like, it didn't even struggle. But it bent the whole top of this down and actually bowed out. This is probably 1/2 inch thick of steel. Just bowed it right out. And it didn't even struggle. And plus, I had probably 3 tons of gravel up here in the back. So, yeah, it's had a very hard life. And I want to fix it up. And what kind of sucks in a way, they got this bed, it's slightly tweaked. And there's nothing I can do about it. Because when they relined the bed, they relined it with real thick steel, and it's in the shape of the bow. So I can't do anything about how it's tweaked unless I replace the entire bed. And I really don't want to go that far with it. I wouldn't mind trying to bow this back in, but I don't know if it will, because this is freaking thick and solid over here, and that's going to have to shift to get that over. But I might heat it up, see what I can do with it when I get to that point. But we're going to be cutting these out, getting rid of the boards, taking those out. We're going to put diamond plate up there on both sides. We're going to get rid of those lights. We're going to put one light in the middle, more than likely. And I could change my mind as the closer I get to it being done. And we're doing a complete color change on it. I love the color blue, Arrival blue, but there's another truck I want to do with that color, and I'd rather do this a different color. And I already know what color I'm going with. I already have wheels for the truck, other than tires, but I have wheels. So you're just gonna have to watch as I work on this thing, get it fixed up. I honestly have no idea how many videos I'm going to get out of fixing this truck up, because I should have been working on it a while back ago and I haven't been. It's just one of those things, man, when you're busy working, you got 3 or 4 different jobs going on at the same time, you got trucks in and out, you got crap breaking. Some stuff gets pushed off the priority list, and this has been one of them, unfortunately, because I've been working all over this. I think I did a video on it. I don't know, probably a couple videos back for a split minute. I've added some stuff to this. I got my hydraulic cylinders all on. I've had to make some changes, getting it ready for this season. The roller, man, I was using the roller the other day and this cable broke on me. This was a freaking pain in the butt, man. This should be up in there and it ripped out. The cable was just rusted and got stiff. It was also frayed in the middle. And I don't know if you can see that, but man, it was awful. It sucked changing that out. Plus $350 cable for just no reason. Dude, it had to pull the engine and everything to freaking do that. So, you just have to stay tuned as I work on this. We are going to get started on it and just enjoy the videos. Okay, first step here, LMC truck. We're going to open up this box and see what we got in here. So this is my new, should be rocker panels. There ought to be 2 sets of rockers in here, because we've got another truck I'll be working on at some point. Probably no time soon. So one of the things I like about LMC's rocker panels, these are thick. Way thicker than what they were from the factory, so they ought to last a whole lot longer. So this is the passenger side rocker. And off to the side. And then got cab corners. So this will be a driver's side cab corner, which will be for the other project truck. I'm gonna get around to it. this is the passenger side, which is also the other project truck as well, because I have Caterpillar over there laid out already for this truck. And I feel like there should have been a third rocker, because this is a driver's side. Man, I'm gonna have to look into that order. There should have been an extra rocker. I only received, unless it's on in that box, I don't think it is. But I've also ordered these years ago. A little over a year and a half ago. So I'll set this, put this up out of the way that I don't get mixed up. So these new rocker panels will go all the way up underneath the cab corner, and in the front it will go all the way up into the firewall, so you get the whole thing. This thing, it's actually solid from here up, is all solid. There is no inner rocker left. I mean, I guess there's a little bit, but not much. So I'm solid. I looked up underneath. I don't know if I can maneuver this around, but it's solid up in here. So I'm gonna roughly cut it through here somewhere all the way down, and then see what it looks like from there. My goal is just to cut the rust out of this thing first and get that. So the way you're technically supposed to do this, like I said, I'm not building a show truck by any means, but you got spot welds here, and they run all the way up to the front, and it's 2 pieces of steel, and this is where your rocker meets your cap. And this, it rusts out, I mean, bad. And, you know, there's no floor to, to butt up to here. So what I'm gonna do, I'll cut this out, just take all the rust out, and then as far as up here, I'm gonna clean up a lot of this crap, dust, dirt, salt, and see how far over I need to cut all this out, because I'm not replacing the floor pan in this. I'm not putting that kind of time in it. I'll put some steel in it. It's going to serve the same purpose, but you'll be able to see that it had been patched, versus if you replace the floor, you'll never know. But it kind of looks like it's been patched up before, because there was some glue that was through here I tore out. But it's not a perfect truck at all. I just want something that's going to look decent from the outside, because mechanically it's pretty sound. It's a great running truck. I just need it to look a little bit better. But I mean, there is no, that inner rocker. Let's see if I can spin around here and I'll show you. Okay, so this is your inner rocker, and it starts to disappear through here. And you can see, man, it's pretty bad up in there. Rust in the eyes. So all this, I'm gonna cut all this out. I have new inner rockers as well. Okay, got the rust out of my eyes. My goal, just get the rust cut out. I kind of do this as I go. Now, I am replacing this door. Cheer out, rustful. Something you need to be careful of when you do a cab corner. When you cut it out, you don't want to match up your body line with your door. If it's an old door, like I am changing my door out on this one. The bushings are more wore out on this door than what it would be on probably the other door. So what I'm saying is, if I replaced my cab corner and cut this one out, say put the new one in, and I was a pinch lower, this body line would match up with the door, and then when I go to put the new door on or replace bushings, your door will be back to where it needs to be, and then your cab corner body line is off. So what I did on the other side, and I'll probably do on this side, I replaced, when you get the kit, it comes all the way up to like right in here, roughly. I just went ahead and replaced it all the way up to there. And the reason why I done that, because there was actually a dent right here. And I was like, I'll just replace it and I don't have to worry about getting that dent out. And some people will cut them in here and they'll kind of overlap, and then you got a bunch of filler. Then you have to work in there in that body line when you're doing your body work and Bondo, and when you're welding and grinding. And I don't want to deal with that. So I'm just going to cut it up here. It's a little bit more of a smoother surface I can work with. Everybody's different, and everyone's to their own way on how they want to do it. That's just how I'm going to do this one. Back here, you'll have to heat up. I might not have to. Well, yeah, I guess I will. You'll have to heat up this glue, which is like a body seam filler. You'll heat that up. That'll melt out. That's going to show your little spot weld. So you drill them out, and then to be the same deal inside right here, you'll have your spot welds. Drill all those out, and you'll cut across where you're going to cut it at, and you'll be able to pop your cab corner off. And usually they're pretty rusty up inside there, and there's foam, and you gotta be careful when you weld these things, new ones in. I'll tell you this now before I go to do it in case I forget, but that foam will catch fire and you could burn the truck down from the inside out. So you need to be careful when you do that. I'd keep some water or a fire extinguisher down here, and even an air compressor, and in my opinion, have a drill with a bit just in case it gets out of hand. You can put a hole up in the top and shoot water and air down it. That way you can hopefully put it out. So definitely be careful doing that. But man, this is gonna look so much better getting this, just cutting the rust out, it's gonna look better. So before I get fully started on cutting this rocker out, I went ahead, popped this panel off, pulled this harness out for the door. Just pops right through the dash, through here. Let's pop that out. I'm gonna go ahead and unbolt this. Unbolt right up here for the door hinge, and then right here. And you twist it either in or out. I can't remember which direction it is, but I'm pretty sure it's in. And you should just be able to pick up on the door and pick the door right off. That way it'll give me some more room to work on this rocker. When I get it out, get the cab corner off, I'll have some measurements. I'll take measurements of that cab corner where I want it at before I cut it off. Then when I go to fit the new one on, I'll set the door on. That way I know I'm at the same spot before I took the old one out. Man, it doesn't come off that easy. Okay, so I took a torch and melted out some of the seam sealer up to this point right here. That way, one, it'd be easier to take the cab corner off, two, and it'll expose part of where all the welds are that I need to drill out. While I was at it, I measured out where I need to cut at for my cab corner. I measured the other one over here. Get as close as I can, and once I get it cut, rocker out, start putting it back together, then I can fine tune it in at that point then. Okay, it says drilled out some of these spot welds. I don't know if I have to go any bigger or not with this one. This one's actually full of crap coming out of it. Same on the back side. I actually drilled those a little bit bigger. But regardless, they're drilled out. I'm just gonna get my cut-off wheel and cut across, and I'll work on prying this cab corner out of here. Oh, here's what's left of it. Feel all that foam. Boom. We'll make sure we clean a lot of this up. Some people actually replace a lot of this, but I'm only gonna replace what I need to, because basically just the outside, I'm not too worried about. The inside, all this crap, and I'll sand it down, clean it up, hit it with some paint to try to keep it from rusting anymore, at least slow the process. Might cut some of it out, but as long as it's not exposed outside, it ain't gonna be too bad. So this is where I'm cutting them at. This probably isn't really the technical. There's probably a technical way, some genius out there, but you know what? I'm not one, and I'm also not a body man, but this is how I save money. So I'm gonna cut it from here down all the way across, because this is solid, no rust right through here. That way I can take care of the rust through here, and then I'm gonna cut right along through here. So what I'll do, I drew a line on there roughly to match that end up, and once I get this kind of fitted, then I can trim up on this end here. So I'll cut across and down this way and take all this right here out. Then I'll take what's left, the inner rocker, out next after that. Well, I do believe I'm at a stopping point for today. This inner rocker, it's not as bad as what I was thinking. It's still not good. It's better than the other side was. But I got a buddy coming over tomorrow to use this lift, so I'm gonna have to pull this truck out of here, and tomorrow I'll spin around a different direction. I'll get underneath there and cut this inner rocker out, then cut out anything else I think needs to go with it, and go from there. Next day, got that inner rocker mostly cut out. To be technical, I should drill those out, pop that off, but honestly I don't really care or worry about that much. It's only a pinch thicker. If anything, it's gonna make it stronger. This truck, dude, it's had another floor pan. You can see it's been cut. Another floor pan in it, and the new one was even rusted out. So it's been a hard salt life for sure. Got the inner rocker stitch welded in. To be quite honest, the other side, when I'd done it, this inner rocker had spun around the other direction where these float in. I feel like that's the technical way, and these should be where the supports are. But really, in order to do that, I have to do a lot of cutting on this end and shorten it, which really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It just seemed to fit a whole lot better having it spun this direction. If I need to, I can bend these the opposite way. But as long as I got some steel in it and it looks a little bit better than what it was, that's all I really care about, because there's so much stuff that's rotted out. It's just way better just to do it this way. You can see where I'd cut this end and just weld that to it. I'm gonna do a little more welding up in there. It's kind of everything kind of stitched in right now, but it doesn't look too terrible. As long as it's covered and it looks halfway decent, that's all I care about. It's a work truck. I mean, these floor pans, they've been replaced, not by me, but by whoever had it before me, or long ago. These are starting, well, obviously rusted out, so just have to fab up some metal to fill that in. Got the rocker welded in. I don't think it turned out too terrible. I gotta grind that weld down, pinch, get ready for some mud. Looks pretty nice. Well, finally got the cab corner tacked. Not fully in, but just tacked. And it's one thing I don't like about aftermarket parts. They don't fully fit just right. Because this piece is a complete 90 right here. But here it's more like a 45. So what I decided I'm going to do, I'm just going to tack it all in place, get it good and sturdy. And then I'll have to beat and pry on that back side to get it to fit just right. This door, for some reason, would not hang back on the truck. I fought it for probably 20 minutes. Pretty freaking frustrating. I bent the bottom of the door up, so it's really hard to get a good fitment, but I'm not using that door on the truck anyway when it's all done. Up here, I gotta push this in a pinch more, and then I'm drilling through the cab corner to the new and the new rocker and the cab, and spot welding that. And I'm gonna take a hammer and push this in a little bit through here, that way it's good and tight. And then when it's all done, I'll be doing some body work through here, some filler to clean this up. A lot of people, they'll cut these and they'll slip them up underneath the factory and then weld them across, and I really don't like doing that. I try to get as close as I can and butt it up true and get it tacked in, turn everything down and weld it in that way, because I want it to be as close to factory as possible, which I know it can be still kind of hard to do with the aftermarket parts, but I don't know, maybe I'm just a little bit picky with it. That's just kind of how I like to do it. I still need to cut out some steel for the floor. That'll be next thing after I get this all in. And then after that, take some seam sealer and fill the seams in. Give you guys an example of what I mean by button it up versus an overlap. The new butted up perfectly to the old, then I fill the gap. Personally, I like doing that. grind it down, you have less Bondo you gotta put in it. And to me, it just seems to be more true. And the least amount of Bondo you can use, the better off you are. Be an example of how aftermarket parts fit. It looks wonderful through here. That door's beat to hell. I mean, that's probably not the best example. But you can see, other than that fender sticking out a pinch, house flat. This is down the side. The cab corner is literally exactly where it needs to be. It's not kicked out, but right here, that doesn't want to fit. So I'm gonna have to try to push that in. I don't know if it will, because let me zoom out. They should have made this cab corner come more over here to fill this, because now I'm gonna have to get some steel to fill this in if I want my cab corner to sit where it's supposed to sit. So it's just kind of a pain in the butt with aftermarket stuff. But if you're gonna get in the body work, you're gonna have to deal with that every day. Doing this, you kind of move around, you allow time to allow the metal to cool, time for it to cool down. If you don't, it'll cause it to warp. Got her welded up and ground down. I don't think it looks too terribly bad. Hopefully be able to mud it here tonight. Well, unfortunately I'm out of Bondo. We actually had Bondo, it's out of hardener. So now I'm gonna pick back up on pretty much knocking off all the rust on the bed. I'm probably gonna spend some days on that. So tomorrow I'll get some Bondo to finish up the rocker and cab corners. I got a nice little needle scaler. That'll really help do the job. I'm also gonna have to grind it down, and really it needs a good sandblasting is what it needs. I don't have a sandblaster. But we're gonna switch to the GoPro and do some needle scaling. As you can see, I'm covered in Bondo dust. I'm gonna do a part 1 on the video, because if I don't, I'm gonna have a video that's probably 3 hours long or more. So this is what I've got done so far. I'll give you a little tour. I got the rockers welded and bondoed. I mean, I might do a little bit more cleaning up in a couple spots. Cab corner is in. Tomorrow I'm gonna take the seam sealer and fill some seams for the cab corner and underneath in a couple spots. But yeah, this is what I got. I got a big old mess. My GoPro quit recording. I don't know if I'll put some of that in the video as well, but it quit recording when I was cleaning up with the needle scaler underneath here on the bed. And really there's probably gonna be some more cleaning up I'm gonna have to do. I've been trying to blow everything off as I go, and I've got one heck of a pile that I've picked up and threw in the trash can. I was noticed this earlier. I'm gonna cut part of my exhaust off back here to try to keep my new mud flap from melting whenever I get that ordered and in. Tomorrow, I think I'm gonna pull the wheels off. That way I can get back to sanding the frame, axle, all that stuff. Get back to doing that. And also I need to take some measurements before I go in tonight. Figure out exactly what size diamond plate I'm gonna get for up there, and sheet of steel for the side, because tomorrow I'll probably cut this side off right here. Make it look a little bit better. Then I got some body work I gotta do on this door. It's got a couple little dings I gotta get out. It's coming along a little at a time. Should have had this done months ago. But this is a part 1. There will be more. Working on the bed, getting the rest of the truck. I got new wheels for the truck. I think I mentioned that earlier in this video. But this has probably been 2 or 3 days of recording. It's really hard to record everything you do, because you have to remember to record everything you do. But I'm doing my best. So if you like this video and want to see more, hit that subscribe button and leave a comment.